Hello, so welcome to day 3. Today we're going to be working with the visual clairvoyance, so seeing images, pictures, colors, using our visual extrasensory perception in the Akashic records. And yeah, I'd just like to start with that everyone has gifts that are stronger for them, intuitive gifts that are more, that come more naturally to them and are more developed. Some people are more clairsentient or claircognizant, clairaudient, clairvoyant. And, also the other two that we don't talk about a lot, clairgustians, clairessence. So some people have these more highly developed than the others. Welcome. And welcome, thank you for joining me. So the way that I like to work with the Akashic records is to encourage people to use all of your senses and develop all of those extrasensory gifts, not just the ones that are most natural and developed for you. So in that way, welcome. In that way, we really are accessing the full information and whatever is available to us in all the ways that we can. So to say that not one gift or one intuitive sense is better than another. And often that puts people off. People get into comparison with others. Oh, this person's more intuitive than I am. They're more gifted because they can see, they can see this, or they get this message. And that can put us off from developing our own gifts and really honoring our own value as an intuitive person, that our gifts are exactly as they are meant to be to support us. And often we have closed off our gifts to some degree, and there's reasons for that, and we begin to open them, and we open them as we make the most of the gifts that we have access to. And I found working with the Akashic records is a wonderful way to start to open up all your intuitive senses, all your gifts. Welcome. So as we work in what I found, my strongest gifts are clairsentience and claircognizance, and then clairaudience. The clairvoyance is developing more since I worked with the Akashic records, and it's continuing to open up. And it's one of the reasons I teach the way I do, because I'm very clairsentient and really teach a lot about the feeling and sensing and the energy. So I make the most of my gift, and that helps me that supports me to teach and to share in the ways I'm meant to. It's not less than or better than somebody else's gift. So we all have that, and I really encourage you to, firstly be open to accessing information in different ways. That's the whole point of this. One of the points of this challenge is to encourage you to be using all of your senses, your extrasensory senses, and also be using them in ways that you may not usually use them. So, encouraging, often we just go with our strengths too, so people that receive information as a message aren't listening so much to the sensory information or the audio message or the smell or taste. So they might be missing out some important information because they're just favoring that particular extrasensory sense that's their strength. So when we open to all of our senses. And I found working in the Akashic Records, things come through, as I've explained, it's energy. We're receiving information from the Akashic Records as an energy download, as frequencies, and we're translating it through our senses. And that happens in all different ways. Actually, you know, there's other ways that happens. Like for me, a lot of energy and bringing through the energy comes through my hands, because I'm very much a healer. So I'm bringing energy through my hands, through my voice. So, and that's what I see with people that I work with. I encourage you to develop those really unique ways that information comes through for you. Okay, so just a little bit of a talk while people join, give people a chance to join. So today we're going to focus on the visual psychic sense, clairvoyance. Although with that word, I find using that word, it's already, there's a lot of assumptions around that word, that we have to actually see pictures and images clearly for us to be accessing information clairvoyantly. So how can we open that up? So we're just receiving information visually. That's it. You know, there's not in a particular way. It doesn't have to be a picture or a symbol or an image, or it can be a color, or it can be light. And that way you'll realize that you are receiving visual information and begin to open to that. And I find for me, often visual information first comes as just as light, as different. You know, the light may be different colors. It may have a different feel to it. So, and as I go into that light, and I see this with other people, it can just start with light. So and often I see and sense the presence of angels and masters as, and you know, high dimensional beings as light initially, as with a colored light, just as a light, as a presence. So then when I pay attention to that light and start to explore that, you know, I receive more information about that. So what I think we'll do today is we'll open to the records and to sensing, well, we're focused on the visual, so yet we're going to bring in the other senses to support that. I'm feeling is to seeing a guide, or a, doesn't mean we have to see them clearly, more like just seeing a presence that's here for us to guide and assist us. So we start to develop that relationship with the member of our spiritual team that's stepping forward to assist us. So that's what we're going to do. Just open into the records and ask that a member of your spiritual team comes forward to give you a message, or just experience their presence, or give you you know, send you energy, healing, whatever you're needing, and how you can just begin to sense that visually. What's the color and light quality of this being? And you might just see light and color. So you know, it might be quite subtle, but I would think most people would have a sense of some light or color, or then we'll drop beneath that to how else you might be perceiving that. So you really get that you can sense that presence, that helpful presence that's there to assist you. Okay, so it's wonderful to hear people's feedback in the group of how you're enjoying the guided experiences, guided Akashic experiences. I love sharing in this way. I love seeing people having experiences and hearing about that, and hearing how that's assisting them to really open up, and you know, giving them something that's exactly what they need at the moment. So, you know, if you would like to share in the group, that's lovely for everyone, and it encourages other people to share. It encourages other people to participate even. Some people might be reticent to even participate everyone's at different places in their journey. So when you share, it can encourage someone else. It's not just for yourself. It's lovely to share and, you know, to hear about other people's experiences. Wonderful. So again, if you're driving or in a place, in a sort of busy public place or something that's not suitable to do this, wait till another time until you can really just focus and honor this. Really working the Akashic Records is a very sacred experience and blessing and gift. So when we honor that in some way, that's you know, an optimal attitude of just really honoring. That's my perspective anyway, that it's really to honor that as a sacred experience. Okay. And I feel when we do that, when we honor that experience and hold it in that way, we do receive more, and you know, that begins to open up to us more when we really work with it in a good way and honor that. We'll receive too. There's that flow that begins to happen. Okay. So just finding a quiet place in yourself. That sacred space begins within. It is primarily within how you hold that just sacred space and that quiet and that stillness within. In preparation for receiving the energy and the guidance today. Just taking a nice deep breath and really feeling peace and stillness coming through. So that's the energy and presence. I'm noticing as I begin to speak, it's just this real stillness today. There's I feel a higher energy coming through today, a higher vibration as we are preparing to meet with, to interact with, to receive messages from our spiritual guide or angels or masters. There's really, that energy is there already. You might feel that in the sense that. So take a nice deep breath down to the belly and letting the breath all the way out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in. Breathing out. Sending a grounding cord down into the earth. You might like to imagine that, a grounding cord from the base of the spine. Sending that right down to into the earth, into the core of the earth, and wrapping that around a crystal at the core of the earth. And setting an intention to release anything from the field, from the energy that's no longer needed. And setting that intention to continue throughout the session, throughout this guided experience. So feeling, sensing your connection with Divine Creator, Divine Source. You might like to imagine a stream of white light coming down through the crown, right down through the center of the body, down into the earth. Feel that energy bring you into alignment, like an internal alignment happening. Anything that's not in alignment is automatically just moving out of the field down into the earth and opening out that light and energy from Divine Creator, Divine Source, and letting that surround you, bringing the field into alignment. Beautiful. I'm going to start with the Kadosh mantra, which means Holy, holy, holy Lord God of hosts, and it's particularly a mantra for creating protection, a circle of protection and holy light around us. It's a very high vibration mantra, and what happens, one of the reasons I work with mantra is because mantra raises the vibration. It changes the energy around you, it uplifts it, so anything that's not aligned begins to move out of the field. So that's really helpful for doing the intuitive work. Kadosh, 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 Adonai Zebios. 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 Because to access information from the Akashic records, we're actually just raising our vibration to that frequency so we can actually access that information. So doing something to raise your vibration is helpful. You might notice the shift in energy. It's recommended to repeat that mantra 12 times. You might like to imagine bringing liquid gold down from, like liquid gold rain down from divine creator, divine source, washing that through the field, down the cord that connects you with divine creator, divine source, cleansing that cord, letting the liquid gold shield and protect that cord. That's often where a lot of blockages are happening for people, in that cord, bringing that liquid gold down through the cord. Anything released from that. Actually do clearing work for the group while we're doing this, because I tend to sense into the group field. That's the intention I've set in my field. Okay, bring that liquid gold down. Really feeling a lot of energy needs to clear around the crown chakra today. The crown chakra, there is, I find when I work with people, there often is a lot of clearing needed. There's clearing needed around the crown chakra and in the brain. Most of us have experienced have made choices that we're still carrying those patterns and energies of disempowerment. I mean, it would be pretty rare for someone not to have those patterns and have been working through those in this lifetime, because it's just the nature of the paradigms on earth that are set up to be disempowering, and we agree to that, and it disempowers us to give our power away to others, to systems and beliefs and people and organizations that are not where we're not honoring our self as divine beings, as creators. So we're finding our way back to being sovereign beings, and in the meantime there's quite a bit of like energetic cleansing needed around the crown chakra, so we can actually energetically reclaim our sovereignty and come from a place of our divine power as co-creators. So I'm feeling to support that, to the mantra to support that, to restoring our sovereignty is Bereshit, Ehe, Asher, Ehe. Bereshit, Ehe, Asher, Ehe, Asher, Ehe. Bereshit, Ehe, Asher, Ehe. Which means I am that I am. I shall be who I shall be that. I'm not sure about the direct translation of the second part, so it's I am that I am. I will be that what I will be, or something like that. So Bereshit, Ehe, Asher, Ehe. Bereshit, Ehe, Asher, Ehe. Bereshit, Ehe, Asher, Ehe. Bereshit. Ehe, Asher, Ehe. Bereshit, Ehe, Asher, Ehe. Bereshit, Ehe, Asher, Ehe. And bring that liquid gold down through the crown, through the brain. We're really doing some clearing around the crown chakra today. And something that I found very helpful to say and often suggest to my clients is, I am a sovereign being. I am a free spirit. I take back my power. I take back my freedom. And feel the energy shift when you do that. That statement is inspired by a book, Alchemy of Crystals by Ram. Some great empowering statements that I often work with. So bring that liquid gold down through the crown, through the brain. That's cleansing, feeling a lot of need to cleanse patterns of disempowerment. Actually feeling what's coming up, if you'd like to participate in this, is to clear agreements today in the Akashic Records. Clear any agreements. So for anyone who chooses to participate in this, setting an intention to clear any agreements that you have made in any lifetime not to access your gifts. in all lifetimes, in all timelines, and all dimensions, not to access your gifts, not to access your spiritual gifts. Releasing, dissolving those agreements now. Dissolving them in your Akashic records. And Divine Soul Blueprint. Transmuting all negative dissonant energies from these agreements now. I might feel a release, an opening. Because many of us have made agreements not to use our gifts. And because we have free will, because we are sovereign beings, we can choose to annul those agreements now. Release them. Dissolve them. And you feel the release and the opening. This is one of the reasons people have difficulties accessing their gifts, because they've made agreements not to. Often for survival and safety reasons, they've decided not to access their gifts. So just feeling that release happening of those agreements. And knowing that it's safe to access your gifts. In other lifetimes, you may have not have felt safe to access your gifts, to open up. But knowing that in this lifetime, you can create safety for yourself around opening your gifts. You can open your gifts safely and look after that, and open into your gifts safely for the benefit of yourself and all those who you may assist through your gifts. So bring down that liquid gold right down through the energy, through the crown. Through the third eye, down around the field and energy, down through the heart and the chest. And all around the field and down the back. And through the solar plexus. We did a lot of clearing the solar plexus yesterday. So if you missed yesterday's, you might like to go back and do that. That was powerful for clearing the solar plexus and implants. So releasing, bring the liquid gold down through the hips. And I'm feeling I want to also just do some work at the base chakra today, to setting intention just to release any fears in the base chakra, to release and dissolve any agreements, if you choose to participate in this, to release and dissolve any agreements that you've made or participated in to be ostracized or punished or tortured or killed for using your gifts. That creates a lot of fear to still have the energy of those agreements. So choosing to release, dissolve, and cancel those agreements at root issue in your Akashic records, in all lifetimes, timelines, dimensions now. Releasing, dissolving these in your Divine Soul Blueprint, transmuting all negative dissonant energies from these agreements now. And a huge release at the base as well. And to let the liquid gold just release that fear down, any fear down into the earth. I found most people that come to me have actually quite high levels of fear in the base chakra from past life trauma around their gifts, associated with their gifts. So releasing that down into the earth, letting the liquid gold just cleanse and release any fear, any old energies from these agreements that most people have made not to use their gifts. When you've participated in an agreement, you've agreed to it. Feeling the energy shift, releasing, dissolving all down through the legs and the feet into the earth. And that liquid gold continuing to work. So we've really created a beautiful space to open up another level to your gifts today. Feeling some more letting go at the base chakra. Ooh, big letting go. You feel a clearer channel now for opening to the Akashic records and communicating with the team member who shows up today to assist you. Beautiful. Opening into the love, light and wisdom of the Akasha that's all around us, interpenetrating with the physical and non-physical reality, letting the doors of awareness open to receive the love, light and wisdom of the Akasha, calling in the Akashic Lords, Masters, Teachers, Guardians and Guides, calling in my own personal team of guides, guardians, teachers, masters and angels. And you might like to call in your team of guides, guardians, teachers, masters and angels, only those who are 100% aligned with divine love, light and truth. Any other team members, you may choose to release them now, or else they're just not joining you for this process. So if you choose to release them, you can just let them know that their service is no longer required. You release them and bless them. Any team members that are not 100% aligned with divine love, light and truth, that you choose to release and bless on their way. We're holding the space for the purest information. Beautiful. Okay, so opening the records for receiving a message and connecting with one of your spiritual team today, one of your guides, angels, masters, teachers who would like to come forward and assist you, who is 100% aligned with divine love, light and truth only. And that clear intention. I'm going to focus on visual information first. So just noticing, is there a light? I'm seeing like a spiritual sun, like the sunlight from a sun shining so brightly. And within that sun there's a presence. How are you? Like not quite within, but like almost coming from that sun is a presence. So is there a light? Are you seeing a light or a presence? Does the light have a color? Is it sparkling and bright? Is it moving in some particular way? Is it changing color? And that might be, often we just see our guides and teachers just perhaps as a light. And for some people that becomes clearer into a stronger visual image, that you might be seeing a particular guide or angel or master or teacher who might be familiar to you or might be a new one. And just trusting what you get, what you're receiving, whatever images and impressions, visual images and impressions that you're getting of this being today, just trusting that knowing that you're being held in the sacred energy of the Akasha. And one of the things that you can do to check that this is a high vibration being, even though obviously we're working in the Akashic records, in the sacred energy of the Akasha, which is a huge protective field and sacred space. Still, in this situation or other situations, it's good to have a tool to check that the being that you're working with is of the highest light. So you can actually say the mantra, Kadosh, 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 Adonai Zebaoth, to this being, and ask this being to say that back to you. And obviously, any being that is not at the highest light would not be able to repeat that mantra back to you. And that's a way you can check. And just now to receive, asking to receive a message that is helpful to you on your path at the moment. So a message of assistance to assist you, maybe assist you with something you're dealing with in your life at the moment that you might have been finding difficult. I'm just asking to receive some guidance. And we're going to, because we're working visually first, we're going to just see, are there any images or pictures that come to you? Is there another color? A message can come as a color. And what does that mean for you? You might feel that color, see that color, receive that color somewhere in your body. It might have particular meaning, or just the color. The message might come as a color or light. Gold light. If it were gold light, what would that mean? Or pink. Or red. You know, all these colors have different meanings. So, you know, pink's often about love, divine love, or red's are really being more in the physical. That sort of strength and support in the physical. Green's a healing color. Blue is more, there's many different tones of blue, but it's often truth. Blue's about truth and so higher wisdom. Can have different meanings, so it's about knowing what the meaning is for you. And just noticing what the color is, and just if there's a color, if the message has a color, or if there's, you know, most visual messages would have some type of, would have colors. What's the feeling of sense of the color that you get? Does it feel warm? Does it feel peaceful or loving? Or, you know, what's the quality of the message in any colors and scents you get of a visual message? Does it feel peaceful or loving, or, you know, energizing, invigorating, or healing, or something else? So your guides are giving you messages as energy, as vibration, as frequency, and then you're translating it through your senses. So just letting yourself receive the energy of this message now. Receive it as light, receive it as color. That's the color and the light and the energy that your body needs too. That your whole energy body, all your energy bodies need this color and this light and this message and energy. That's why your guides are sending that to you. You can just, however you're receiving it, even if you didn't see a clear color or images, you're receiving the energy of the message That's just how it is. You're receiving the energy of the message from your guides. You're opening to receive that, and you are receiving it, however you're receiving it. You might notice a change in the energy in your body. Does the message have a color, texture, energy to it, a feel to it? How do you feel with the energy of this message? So we can start with one sense and then open into the other senses. Just check if there's anything else there. If you're seeing visual messages, do they remind you of something? What do they mean for you? Seeing pictures and images of a place, of a person. Just feeling into what that means for you. Exploring it, going deeper into it. Often we can interpret things through our mind without really feeling into it. That's the way we've been educated and trained, just to use our mind. But when we use all of our senses, and you get the feel of the message as well, and what feeling does it have? What's the feeling of that message? What's the, how does that feel in your body? How does that feel emotionally? Can deepen you into that message, into the meaning of that message. Might be not what it might be more than and have messages often have multi-layered meanings that we can understand and explore over time. So if you get some images and pictures, symbols, something you don't fully understand, you can just bring that to mind over the next few days. You can bring it to mind and just let the meanings come to you. We don't always get all the meanings straight away, so you can journal. You can go for a walk and just bring that image and pictures to mind and see what they mean. Do a drawing. The message and the full message will often unfold over time. Layers of meaning, especially with visual images. Okay, that feels complete. I just feel the energy that's complete now. Everyone's received the message, downloaded the energy of that. That's there for them today. Good, lovely. So I hope that you're just joining now. We're just finishing up. So you might like to go back to the beginning. So we're just going to finish up now. So giving thanks to your guide, your master, angel, teacher, whoever showed up for you today to communicate with, and just giving thanks. And you might have received a name, or you can just recognize every being has an energy signature. So now, because we explored that so thoroughly, you can recognize them next time, this being. They might even have a fragrance. Some might have the fragrance of rose, or of a particular scent of, all different scents. They might have a scent as well. Is there a scent with your guide? Particular scent? Sandalwood or a forest? It could be many things. Is there a scent? What's their energy signature? Just noticing that, and then you can recognize that next time. It's the way we begin to develop the relationships with our spiritual team members, really recognizing their signature, so we recognize them. Energy signature is their vibration. You might even hear that as a sound frequency, the colors or image, or just the feel of that guide. They feel peaceful, or they feel really love from that guide, or joy, particular energy. Just noticing that now. What's the energy signature? Thanking them in your own way for coming forward and their presence. Even if you didn't clearly perceive a presence, give thanks. Be open to that can continue to unfold to the next level over the coming days, or even in a dream, or next time. Give thanks for what you have received, even what you've received unconsciously as well as consciously. Our spiritual team members are sending us so much love and energy and assistance. Beautiful. It's lovely, Rajnita. Yeah, the universe is, I've been reading a lot about this, Rajnita, that the universe is made of holograms, and this is the patterns of the universe that you're seeing, and that could have been for healing or understanding, or whatever that means for you, but understanding that is the patterns of the universe. Lynn. Beautiful. Just reading Lynn's message. Oh, very clear messages, Lynn. Beautiful. Very lovely and clear. You're welcome. Oh, I love that, Joe. That's beautiful. Such beautiful experiences, so powerful. Thank you for sharing. Such a blessing to share. Everyone has quite different experiences because we're all unique. So just giving thanks, and we're going to close the records. Giving thanks to all the guides, guardians, teachers, masters and angels, all those who've participated and assisted today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Breathing back into existence, the door between worlds. Akashic records are now closed and sealed. Really got to close that very strongly today. I'm really getting that with the Akashic records, to make sure I really, especially work in this energetic way, to really make sure I close the records well and seal them. Really take responsibility for closing the records, and doing my part to ensure they are, although the records are protected and looked after by the Akashic Lords and Guardians, we're responsible too, and we access the records to ensure that we really close the records properly and seal the records. Seal our own records, other people's records that we work with, so as they remain in integrity. You're welcome. I love this sharing and coming together as a group. What a beautiful energy today that we shared. Thank you so much for showing up and being part of this challenge. I appreciate you showing up live and your patience with that. I at times take a bit longer to prepare and come to the session. I do my best to make it on time, and I don't find that rushing and stressing and hurrying works well for me, so I just do my best and turn up and in the right energy for the work. That's important to me, to really be in the right energy to guide you and support you in a really beautiful experience. So thank you. You're welcome. So wishing you a beautiful day or evening. We're all different places across the world. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate your presence and the beautiful sharing that happens when we come together. Yeah, Rajnita, you work in the records too. It is. I've been really... I was taught to do it, to close the records as a protocol, but recently I've been getting the importance of closing and sealing the records to prevent any corruption of the records. I'm being told it's very important to be extra vigilant and aware of that. Yeah, so I do my part in that and just ask my guides and to assist to really close the records. Today it was very strong to close and seal those records very well. There was extra yeah, I actually intoned some of the names of God to close the records that I was guided to do. It was very strong today. I need to close the records. So there may be someone that is in the circle today that we really needed to look after and make sure their records were closed really, really well. So that was the guidance today. So I just listened to that. Thank you so much for joining To Sky and Rajnita, yes. Beautiful. Okay, so thank you. Blessings.